the start of the trail. In my epic attempt to try and waterproof my GoPro a little bit, because I don't run it in the waterproof housing, I'd put tape around the outer perimeter of it just to try and, again, because I don't have the side door, so I was trying to waterproof it. And unfortunately, the insulation tape is enough of a sound barrier that you can't pick up anything at all. So what I'm talking about is I'm walking in and my head's not really in the game. For whatever reason, it just didn't feel right. But I sort of just kept going and figured I'd see where I'd end up, because it might be just one of those things where just needed to keep going and push through it and be fine. But it turns out that no, there's a few bits and pieces that went wrong, minor things, and it just added up and it just really didn't feel right. So I ended up just walking back out and calling it quits and sort of return the next day, which will start again shortly.
Here we are, day 2. Attempt 2. Now everything feels much better. Had a little bit more of a sleep on this morning. Still leaving at exactly the same time I did yesterday. But it's a lot colder this morning. Yeah, like a few degrees colder. Doesn't sound like much, but when you're close to freezing, not like me freezing, but like the temperature's freezing, it's a big difference. So the plus side, be able to walk into dirt, which means should warm up. So yesterday there was some fun things going on. There's nothing major, it's just a whole bunch of little things sort of added up and just didn't feel right. So, but an hour in, I pulled the pin, and yeah, my head wasn't in the game to start with, so that didn't help. And then obviously if your head's in the wrong if you're in the wrong headspace, then little things just add up to being much bigger. But before things got too bad, that's pretty much why I just pulled the pin. So it is really cold. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. It's beautiful. It's dead still. Quiet. There's a lot of hunters around at the moment, so I'll be sticking well and truly to the main track. Not that I'll deviate from tracks anyway, although this particular track is in pretty bad condition. So, but yeah.
this point, I've swapped out cameras. I purchased a new camera for doing the vlogs and just for general outdoor use, and it was a ruggedized waterproof camera. The audio quality on the videos is almost non-existent. As you can see, the video quality isn't that good. Most of the vlogging stuff that I did on this trip was done on my GoPro Hero 3, and the camera I bought, which I tried doing some of the vlogging on, there's no audio, and as you can see, the lighting isn't that good. The photos have very little color depth to them, and subsequently the place where I bought the camera from, the good buggers there actually refunded the camera completely after I'd showed them the photos and stuff like that of what I'd taken, and they sort of had to play with it, and there was no fault of the camera, it just wasn't as good as it should have been. So, as I said, at this point my knee is extremely sore, so I'm just going to stop and have a cup of coffee, and I figured, oh well, I've got the tent with me, and I might as well just quickly set it up and have a play with it, which is what you see now. And obviously this footage is sped up just because who wants to watch me set up a tent. So, yeah. Rightio. So I'm just having a break. My knee is really sore. Definitely the right call to abort for the second day in a row. So I've got to get this looked at, fixed, and then we'll come back and try again. Annoying, it's a really beautiful day. Oh, birdie. Hello. And as for my opinion on trekking poles, I've mentioned it before in previous videos. So this time I actually bought them. I'm not bringing them again, so in English, I will carry them on future trips. So far this one is taking the pressure off my knee, so I can actually still cover ground. Still really painful, but I can cover ground. They're also really useful
for negotiating more technical terrain, which in this track there is a fair bit of, and so it just takes the pressure off, gives you better balance, and I think for the cost and the weight of them, admittedly I got like the cheapest ones I could get, and yeah, probably future I'll get lighter ones, but for now these work really well. I've had them skiing, and yeah, they're actually quite good. So, as you can see, it's an absolutely stunning day in this absolutely beautiful forest. So yeah, there are shrooms everywhere.